Hello and welcome to the first episode of Season 3 of Grey Matter Talks Tech, a podcast for dev and IT enthusiasts who want to hear insights, tips and innovations from industry experts. My name's Scott Harrison, cybersecurity solutions expert at Grey Matter. This season, it's all about cybersecurity. First half of the season is focused on the 7 layers of security. Here I'll be sharing insights of what each of the layers are, why you all need them, and examples of the solutions you can implement to better protect your business. And in the second half of the season, I'll be joined by experts from across the security industry to discuss key trends and best practices. The first episode is all about you, your employees and fellow colleagues, the human layer. What is human layer security? What exactly do we mean by the human layer of cybersecurity? When most people think about cybersecurity, they picture hackers in hoodies, typing furiously away on keyboards, trying to break through firewalls and crack encryption codes. They think about sophisticated malware, zero-day exploits, and advanced persistent threats. And sure, all of that exists, but here's what might surprise you. The vast majority of successful cyber attacks don't succeed because of technical brilliance. They succeed because of human error. The human layer refers to all of the different ways that people interact with technology, systems, and data, and how those interactions create both vulnerabilities and opportunities for security. It encompasses everything from how employees handle passwords, how they respond to emails, and how they share information, use devices, and make decisions under pressure. Research consistently shows that over 90% of successful cyber attacks involve some element of human error or manipulation. Some studies put a number that even higher as 95%. Think about what that means. Organizations are spending billions of dollars on firewalls, intrusion detection systems, encryption and advanced threat detection. And yet the weak point isn't the technology. It's us. But we start feeling too bad about ourselves. Let's understand why this is the case. Humans didn't evolve to interact with digital systems. We evolved to survive in physical environments, to build social relationships, to trust members of the community, and make quick decisions based on incomplete information. These traits served us very well for the millennia, but in a digital age, these traits really make us vulnerable, and we can categorize this into 3 different human behaviors. Firstly, we're wired to trust, and generally this is influenced from even a preschool age. When someone who appears to be an authority figure asks us for information, our instinct is to comply. We're also wired to be curious, and it's a rather rough analogy, but go back and think of the first Neanderthal discovering how to create fire. Modernizing that slightly is when we see an interesting link or attachment and we want to click to it. And thirdly, we're wired to be helpful. When a colleague needs access to a system, we want to assist them. And we're wired to take cognitive shortcuts. When we're busy, stressed, or distracted, which, let's be honest, is most of the time, we don't carefully analyze every email, every request, and every pop-up window. Attackers understand these psychological tendencies intimately, and they exploit them with absolute surgical precision. I want to get specific about some of the most common ways attackers exploit the human layer. Understanding the attack vectors is the first step to defending against them. Phishing is when attackers send fraudulent communication, usually emails, that appear to come from legitimate sources. The goal is to trick you into clicking malicious links, downloading malware, or revealing sensitive information. We have seen a trend recently of AI also being used in phishing attacks, even furthering that risk of social engineering. Early phishing attempts were very, very obvious, and they were riddled with spelling errors, generic greetings like "Dear Customer," and almost implausible scenarios. Modern phishing, especially spear phishing, can be targets towards specific individuals and can be incredibly sophisticated. Attackers research their targets thoroughly, they craft personalized messages, and they even go as far as creating fake websites that are nearly indistinguishable from the legitimate ones. Next is vishing, voice phishing, where attackers will call you. They might claim to be from a bank or tech support, from a government agency. And with the rise of AI, we're now seeing voice cloning attacks where criminals can mimic someone's voice convincingly using just a few seconds of audio from social media videos. Imagine getting a call from your boss's phone number, hearing their voice, and being asked to handle an urgent financial transaction. Terrifying, right? Smishing is phishing via SMS or text messaging. Even WhatsApp can be counted in that now. Your package couldn't be delivered, the absolute classic. Click here to reschedule it. Your bank account has been compromised. Call this number immediately. Mobile devices do present a unique vulnerability because we're often using them in distracting environments. The screens are smaller, making it harder to scrutinize any details, and we tend to touch text messages more than we do emails. Pretexting involves creating a fabricated scenario to obtain information. An attacker might call pretending to be conducting a survey, or claim that they're from a partner company working on a joint project, or even pose as a new employee. They might need help or claim that they're needing help accessing systems. They build an elaborate false narrative that seems plausible. Baiting exploits curiosity, the classic example of leaving a USB drive labelled Employee Salaries 2025 or Confidential Executive Strategy in the company parking lot is very commonplace. Someone finds it, curiosity gets the better of them. They plug into their work computer and malware is deployed. We're seeing smaller attacks now with QR codes, malicious QR codes posted in public places that lead to credential harvesting sites. Another method is tailgating or piggybacking. Tailgating or piggybacking is a physical security issue. Someone without proper credentials follows an authorized person, maybe through a secure door. Maybe they're carrying boxes and they ask you to hold the door. Maybe they claim they forgot their badge. Most people's instinct is to be helpful and not suspicious. Quid pro attacks offer a service or benefit in exchange for information. Hi, this is IT. We're upgrading everyone's accounts to give you more storage space. I just need to verify your current password to process the upgrade. And there's one that's becoming even more common, business email compromise. Attackers gain access to spoof a legitimate business email account and use it to conduct fraud. They might intercept communications about a wire transfer and change the bank account details, or they may impersonate a vendor or a supplier that works with you and send a fake invoice. These attacks cost businesses billions of pounds annually. What makes all of these attacks so effective is they don't require groundbreaking encryption or finding zero-day vulnerabilities. They require understanding human psychology and exploiting the weakest link in the security chain. Moving on from examples of incidents to what happens when these attacks succeed, because the consequences can compromise a business massively. On an individual level, victims of social engineering attacks can lose money, have their identity stolen, or find their personal information exposed. The emotional toll shouldn't be underestimated either. Victims often feel violated, embarrassed, and anxious about what might happen next. For organisations, the stakes are even higher. Financial losses can be massive. According to the National Economic Crime Centre, incidents have hit 4,600 cases over the past year, costing individuals and businesses around £138 million in losses. Then there's operational disruption. When ransomware gets it through a phishing email, it can shut down an entire network for days or weeks. Hospitals might have to divert patients to other facilities. And as we've seen in the past 3 weeks, manufacturing plants will halt production. Reputational damage can be catastrophic. When customer data is breached because an employee fell for a social engineering attack, trust is shattered. Customers leave, partners become wary, stock prices drop, some companies never recover. There are regulatory and legal consequences too. With regulations like GDPR in Europe and sector-specific requirements like HIPAA for healthcare, PCI DSS, and future frameworks such as the Cybersecurity Resiliency Bill mandating security awareness training will mean organisations can face hefty fines for those data breaches, even when they result from human error. Let me share a few examples for you. In 2016, an employee at Ubiquity Networks, a technology company, received emails that appeared to be from executives requesting wire transfers to overseas accounts. The employee complied. The company lost nearly $40 million to this fraud. In 2020, Twitter experienced a massive breach when attackers used social engineering to manipulate employees into providing access to internal systems. The attackers then compromised very high-profile accounts, including those of Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Elon Musk and others, using them to promote a cryptocurrency scam. Supply chain is also a risky area. The Colonial Pipeline ransomware attack in 2021, which caused fuel shortages across the eastern United States, started with a single compromised password. That's all it took to disrupt critical infrastructure and cause panic buying at gas stations. These aren't hypothetical scenarios. It's happening every single day to organisations of all sizes across all industries. Here's the bottom line. In cybersecurity, we often focus too much on the technical, the firewalls, the encryption, the threat intelligence, but the human layer is where most battles are won. If you'd like to find out more, I offer a free 7-layer security assessment. In this, we can discuss what layers you already have in place, any gaps or improvements, and solutions to better secure your business. If it's something of interest, please get in touch by emailing info@greymatter.com. Our next episode is about the second layer, perimeter security. Subscribe to our podcast now so you don't miss out. Bye for now.